Well, the It Welcome to Derry Season 1 mid-season trailer is here, and there are a whole bunch of Easter eggs and fun things to spot, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey, Deathray here, and this time around, we're gonna break down the Season 1 mid-season trailer for It Welcome to Derry. Now, the season so far has been a little bit of a mixed bag for me. The pilot episode I enjoyed, episode 2 was a little bit of a downturn, Episode 3 left me on the brink of despair. I didn't know if the show could recover. And then Episode 4 was my favorite so far. Full disclosure here, I'm not the biggest television or streaming fan. I feel like there's a lot of fat that doesn't get trimmed. And a lot of times I feel like they just sort of string you along in hopes that you'll watch the next episode and then watch the next season, and then we never really get anything satisfying. But after that 4th episode, I'm actually looking forward to the rest of what they've got for us, and I'm pretty hopeful as well. So in the spirit of digging through every little detail and seeing what we can surmise from these trailers, let's take a quarter speed look at this mid-season trailer for Season 1 and see what we can find. Real quick before we get going, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the It Welcome to Derry mid-season trailer down below. And guys, I gotta let you know, we've got a Discord. It's totally free. The link is in the description. We have a whole bunch of fun over there. It's a great way to stay connected with the community in between streams and videos. And we also do watch parties where we show the movie because YouTube won't let us do that. So whole bunch of fun stuff over there. We also have channel memberships, so check that out as well. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss a thing. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this trailer and see what we got. Here we go. Now, right away, we got this really cool symmetry. I've noticed that over the last couple episodes. This is a beautiful shot here. Like the banisters on either side, you know, the triangular like points, maybe a little bit of that Arrowhead kind of foreshadowing, if that's really where they're going, you know, mixing in that mist mythology with the It mythology, as my guy Fuego over at the Horror Show channel is postulating. And here we go, we got Lily checking out, I'm guessing she's got to be in like Pennywise's house, or whoever the guy that, I don't know, becomes Pennywise. I'm not like a lore hound on this one, so I'm still learning so much. But here we go. Yep, we're definitely at whatever this person is, if they were taken over by the entity and they were previously a clown. Here we go, Pennywise, you convinced everyone to come and see me. Now, I already watched the trailer at full speed. I'm still not the hugest fan of, I don't know if it's just Pennywise as a character, or if it's just the way Bill Skarsgård does the voice. It's just kind of silly to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird and judgy. Something interesting here, again, more symmetry. It's a very like focus shot. Kind of looks like the outline of like a skull there when Pennywise is down at the end of the sewer there. I noticed that a lot in horror, actually. Like just, you know, imagery that alludes to a skull without straight up being a skull. I mean, I have a skull in my logo, so it's not a complaint, just something I notice. And here we go. Yeah, I mean, man, the first 4 episodes, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. And now it looks like we are for sure going to get some Pennywise action. We'll see. So we've got our projectionist. For whatever reason, his name fails to reach my brain right now. But it looks like he's about to get transferred to Shawshank here. Oh my god, okay. I really like this actress there. The actress, she plays Hanlon's wife. She was in The Toxic Avenger, and she was in the Axel F movie. I think she's one of the strongest performers here. There we go, we got Marge missing the eye. And apparently, I don't know, whatever happened with Lily, because she's like on top of Marge, it looks like she attacked her. She must have been, I don't know what happened there. So maybe Marge went to bat for her and was like, no, it wasn't her. Because I figured, oh great, this is just a way to get Lily back into the, you know, the asylum. Okay, and we got our characters. Looks like they're kind of in a different realm there. And more Stranger Things kind of vibes there. That's a pretty gnarly image there. This like kind of zombie. and we see, I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to scrub back a little bit. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll be skipping around, and we might watch it a couple times here during this breakdown. So there we go. We got Mrs. So Mrs. Hanlon and, the older native woman, it looks like they're helping the kids. Okay. I think we sort of guessed that in our review of episode 4. And there we go. So Halloran's saying that goddamn thing forced its way into my head. Okay, and it can't be controlled. All right. I do really like the way they're going with, like, the native thing. Just the way that they're tying it to, like, the pre-colonial days of Derry. And I didn't catch who that was. Oh, shit. We got the black spot is burning down. Damn, I didn't think they would do that this early in the first season. I can't tell who that is there floating in the sewer. But Marge seems to recognize him. So maybe it's one of the kids from that first episode. Oh, you put us in a cage with that goddamn monster. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like that's what Derry is, right? They've set up that perimeter with the bits of that meteor that, keep it out from the outside world. Or, keep it in Derry, essentially. More kind of Stranger Things sort of stuff here with this machine. Cylindrical machine that maybe opens a portal to another world. This is what it wants, to turn us against each other. Yeah, the spreading of the fear and the paranoia and all that stuff. Classic stuff for horror, so I'm not surprised to see that here. We got another little creepy imagery there. You got my mind all fucked up. So who is Halloran talking to right there? The trailer, they're cutting it very well. All right, there we go. We get more Pennywise here. Always wondered how you'd taste. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Drop into the comments if you're watching this and let me know your feelings on, like, I guess if you're watching this, you're a Pennywise fan or an It fan. What's your favorite iteration? Do you like the Tim Curry version more? Do you prefer the Bill Skarsgård? Okay, so there we go. We got, I think her name is Ronnie. She was holding, let's go back there. She's holding that dagger. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. So I don't know. I'm guessing that's a Lily there on the ground. We got some mist. Okay. I mean, don't know if that's exactly tied into it. Wouldn't be surprised. Looks like this might be later on in the season. I'm guessing maybe this is towards the end, right? If it really is Arrowhead Project, we're tying into that mist mythology. And then, let's see here. I'm just going to pause here when we get to Marge because she's got a patch on, so I'm guessing this is later on when the mist comes in, right? She's all bandaged up previously in the trailer, so maybe the trailer that they've cut together here is a little bit of a, it might be playing out the way the rest of the season's going to play out, kind of like, the continuity is congruent here. And there we go. We got Ronnie with that dagger. Sorry, there we go. You can see that she's got it there. So that's the same dagger from episode 4 when they dive into the Native American lore. And that was like the original piece of that meteor that they used, to keep it at bay. And then, as you saw in that episode, they, took the rest of the pieces, built that perimeter, buried them around, the forest that they were living in. That all became Derry. And here we go. It looks like Ronnie's got that. Or maybe no, I think that's Ronnie. Yeah. I couldn't tell at first if it was a couple of the kids and some of the adults, but that looks like Ronnie. We've already got people, you can see like the deadlight eyes in the background. So this seems like maybe this is in the finale. I'm guessing this is the finale, perhaps the episode right before, leading up to all of that. And then we got, okay, so right there, Halloran seems like he's literally surrounded by the ghosts. Now, this might be some of the people that passed away in if people died in the black spot fire, because it looks like if you look in the top right corner there, there looks to be some scarring, some maybe like burn scars or something, some charred skin or something. Not so much on the other characters around Dick, but he looks like he's kind of in the middle of a vision here. And we saw in episode 4 he's already having visions that seem to come to him unwantedly. He's, they're just hitting him like a hallucination pretty much. There we go. We got Daniel. And I think that he's got, so one of the things that I mentioned in our review over on the Horror Show channel is I think that maybe there's something about the natives where they're less affected by everything. And then Cecil had said something like, what if they took little pieces of that meteorite? What if they're wearing jewelry or they've got some way to protect them, which would also make sense. But in episode 4, when Dick tries to tap into his mind here, into Daniel's mind here, he reaches a lot of resistance that he wasn't reaching. You know, we seemingly haven't seen him have a tough time. Like, he was able to read Hanlon's mind when he had dinner with them. I think that was episode 3. I think that was one of the highlights there of episode 3, kind of a down episode for me anyways. And then when he's tapping into this guy's mind here in episode 4, there's a lot of resistance. So I'm getting the feeling that there's something inherent in the native people that either makes them less susceptible, gives them some sort of added advantage, something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll see here. And there we go. We got Mrs. Hanlon fighting with somebody. I'm guessing that's her husband. So we got more bodies there floating up. We got the jerky girls freaking out here. I mean, the fire and the doors being locked, a little bit of, you know, kind of Carrie vibes. I'm going to see if I can rewind that here. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, geez. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this looks like it's in the school gymnasium, something like that. And then we've got, this must be outside of the black spot here. I can't tell who that character is. I'm guessing it's possibly Dick Halloran. Because we've seen that Pennywise has some sort of connection. Well, there's Dick right there. And he's with, it looks like he was with Ronnie. Great shot there of, you know, maniacal laughter from Pennywise. So yeah, I'm sort of surprised we're getting that black spot fire. I thought that would be something that they would sort of, I don't know, play out a little bit more, let gestate, but it looks like we're really getting to some serious shit here to close out season 1. So let's go ahead and I just want to scrub through, make sure I'm not missing anything. There's that beautiful shot there. I don't think I'm missing anything. We're getting, you know, they're letting us know here. I'm guessing we're going to get Pennywise in episode 5. They're going to at least tease him. And then I think the way that this trailer looks like it's playing out is that things really are going to have a steady ramp up to the finale. That's what I'm hoping for, because I don't know if you guys are new to the channel or you've been here for a while. I'm not the biggest TV guy. I mean, I grew up watching television, but television's a totally different ballgame now. And I feel like, you know, with how things are readily available and we're getting these shows either once a week or some people just wait and binge the whole thing. Once you take a look at the 8 hours or the 10 hours, depending on how many episodes are in a show, I feel like there's a lot of fluff and a lot of filler. And that's how I was feeling for the first 3 episodes of this series. And then episode 4 really hit for me, and it looks like they, you know, the rubber really has met the road here, and they are going to be cruising through the finale and really get us pumped for season 2. And then I believe season 2 is going to go back in time. So they've got, I guess that's the good thing about jumping around in time, is that you really do have to wrap up these storylines. You know, you can leave some of the It lore and maybe some of the native stuff because we're going to go back in time. You can leave some of that hanging, but some of these characters, we are going to have some sort of, you know, definitive ending, or at least like a good place to close their story off for now, depending on what happens with the show from here on out. And there's something I missed there. I'm sure other people pointed that out. He's definitely got that Pennywise smile. Even the teeth kind of sticking through. I mean, those are like straight up Pennywise's, like, you know, hilarious buck teeth. And he's sweating profusely. Another kind of Stranger Things sort of vibe here, or Stranger Things kind of vibe here. But perhaps that's something when, you know, when Pennywise sort of infects or possesses somebody. I don't know. You lore hounds, you're going to have to jump into the comments and let me know. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on everything. Man, I got to say, I didn't even say this in the review last night. I'm loving very seldomly do I pay attention to this, but the wardrobe is really solid in this show. I mean, production design's great. Wardrobe, excellent. Maybe one of the, you know, wouldn't be surprised if this wins costume design, you know, awards or something like that. So here, I mean, these shots here, it looks like, so usually the deadlights, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, usually the deadlights, I feel like, you know, in the Chapter 1 from 2017, and then what we saw previously in this season, it looks like it's sort of concentrated to that area, you know, like Pennywise's lair in the sewer. But this looks like it's going to be from, I'm guessing, the finale, maybe the final scene of episode 7 going into the finale, something like that. But it looks like the whole town of Derry has kind of been turned into, you know, its realm, because these people are straight up floating. We see them with the deadlights later on. I believe this is when we get that shot of the dagger. You can even see it in this wide shot here. It's just not as obvious. I mean, blink and you miss it, or watch the trailer at full speed and you miss it. So that's why we do these quarter speed breakdowns here. And yeah, it looks like Halloran is maybe not losing control of his ability, but definitely somebody's kind of breaking in and breaking through his whatever sort of defense he has, or it seems like for Halloran, he's never experienced anything like this. He's used to being able to break into other people's minds, not the other way around. And let's just take a look here at the black spot. I'm just going to pause that there. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. And okay, so this does look like townsfolk, so maybe this is, you know, following up on the projectionist who's been wrongfully accused of murdering the children at the beginning. We found out in episode 4 that the reason why he doesn't have an alibi is because he was seeing a white woman, I think a married white woman. So even more troubling at that time, I suppose, you know, I mean, I don't even suppose, more troubling at that time for him. And here it looks like we've got that racial element here with the townspeople. So I don't know. For some reason, I thought it would be like maybe Pennywise that would do it. Maybe he's infecting these people, or they're just, you know, it's 1962 and these terrible things are happening. But nonetheless, Derry is a place where a whole bunch of fucked up shit happens, and a lot of the people are influenced by the weird juju going on here. So, and I can't tell, this looks like, are the kids in, like, outside, somewhere outside of the black? I mean, that's what the way they're editing it makes it look like that, especially because the glow of the light coming in. Now, it could be something totally different. I can't tell who that character is in the background, but this doesn't look like someone's home, so I don't think this is Richie's home here, or Rich. I think that's this character's name here. Really great young actor. The performance is amazing here from this character. And yeah, I can't tell if this is the light from the black spot or just something else going on. They do such a good job at editing these trailers to keep us guessing and to make us think that things are like tied together that may not be tied together. And here we got Hanlon. Not much of him in this trailer, but him and his wife having a bit of a quarrel over, you know, them being brought to this really, really rough place to live. Now, what is that? I gotta think that that's one of these meteor shards. And I don't know, again, for the lore hounds, the people that really know this stuff in and out, that's not me. So feel free to jump into the comments and let me know, does that symbol there, other than being kind of a, you know, looking like a US military symbol, like an Air Force symbol, does that symbol have any greater meaning within the Stephen King world? You know, is that something that is tied to Arrowhead? I don't know. Like, you guys gotta let me know. Because to me, that just looks like a star with some wings. And, but yeah, I don't know. Taking a closer look at that might be, maybe this is like the symbol for like the Arrowhead Project, if they have some sort of special insignia for that. But here we go. We got that, this like kind of turbine cylindrical machine. You are effing insane. That's a great little freeze frame we got there. So yeah, we saw in episode 4 that Hanlon is starting to, there's like friction between him and his wife from the beginning. There's a little bit of friction between he and Halloran. And in episode 4, we started to see that, you know, come to light with the military, with the, is it Shaw, the general there at the base. Whereas at the beginning of the show, he and Shaw were getting along really well. And then, of course, he got kind of bum rushed in the middle of the night. They were testing him. Shaw had to admit that was them. Maybe that kind of started the friction there. But we definitely see Hanlon being pretty assertive. It's something that's been consistent with his character throughout, and it just seems to be ramping up as the show goes on, as the season goes on. Okay, so we got the kids here. I'm guessing, yeah, Marge's eye is bandaged back there, so I'm guessing this is maybe episode 5 or 6, because it seems like the kids have really banded together in some of these other scenes. And there we go, we got Halloran talking to, I don't know who he's talking to. It's got to be somebody from the military. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Shaw, and Shaw is kind of in the middle of some drama. And there you go, more Halloran just being assaulted. You know, like his senses are being assaulted. He has this supernatural power and this ability, which clearly they're playing the blessing and curse thing here with, you know, with the shine, because it seems like it's a benefit to him in so many ways. And in this season, at this time of his life, he's realizing that maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. And he seems like he's kind of exposed. I've always wondered how you'd taste. So that's curious. Who is he talking to here? I don't think it's Halloran, because I think that they're just aware of each other as of, you know, the beginning of the season. I think it might have been episode 2, maybe episode 3, when Halloran sees Pennywise's eyes in a vision. But it looks, I mean, Pennywise has got that, I don't know if that is like kind of like a paint, or if that is just supposed to be blood. It's a very clear line. So, okay, so maybe he is talking to, maybe this is Lily. It looks to be one of the kids. It's tough to tell, but I'm guessing it's probably Lily. And there, yeah, the mist again. This could be interesting, guys, if they bring in the mist. Jump in the comments, let me know if you think that they're going to be bringing the mist in at the end of the season. That would be wild, because then you would not only have Pennywise to deal with, or it to deal with, but all of these creatures coming in from the other side, you know, basically from hell. And I don't know, is this just later on at the black spot? It could be. It could be as they show up and try to save the place or something like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's all just postulation at this point, you know, just taking educated guesses. But it looks like right there, somebody, you know, somebody must have gotten it, because it looks like, let me just go back there and pause. I mean, Pennywise has all sorts of blood all over his mouth. So he's been eaten good here. Really dig the makeup. I don't know if that's practical makeup or if that's CG, the way that they do the cracks on the forehead and everything. Maybe it's a mixture of both, but it's a good look. You know, I would say the effects are starting to get a little more well measured here as far as the CG versus the practical. And there we go. There is our teaser for the second half of It, Welcome to Derry, Season 1. Okay, so a whole bunch of really good stuff in that trailer. There's Easter eggs. They answer some questions that I'm sure some of us have about what is going to happen in this season, but there's still a whole bunch of questions there, things to theorize over, and things to have that discussion about. So jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. Let's get that conversation going. And if you're a huge It fan and just can't get enough of this kind of content, we watch every episode right here on the channel as it airs. So we do a live watch party. Of course, we can't show the episode, but we've got a nice little timer up there, and we do a running commentary and give our overall thoughts as well. And then when we're done with the episode, I hop on over to the Horror Show channel with Cecil Laird and Fuego, and we do a full review, spoilers and everything. They come out to being like 40 minutes long, so if you love long form content and you love It, Welcome to Derry, then that is the place to be. Really appreciate you stopping on by and checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave, and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell hit so you don't miss any of our live streams, community posts, or videos like this. And before we head out, I gotta give a big shout out and thank you to our Patreon members as well as our YouTube channel members. What you guys do for the channel and the community is incredible, and I can't thank you enough. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, but there is so much great content here, so poke around the channel and I'm sure you're gonna find something you love. And if you're not finding what you're looking for, reach out and let me know, and maybe we can cover it right here. But until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.